It's still super cold, so I'm wearing many layers. But I watched a movie on Netflix that I had been waiting to get on Netflix all year, and they finally added it in December. Thank you very much, Netflix. It's Kat Coiro's A Case of You. So Kat Coiro's a director I didn't know about until this project this year, and I watched her second film first. I watched her films in the wrong order, but I watched her second film, and While We're Here, which had Kate Bosworth in it and was really great. And then I watched her first film, Life Happens, with Kristen Ritter and Justin Kirk and uh, Kate Bosworth, and it's very good. I really, really enjoyed that film. That one's not on Netflix anymore, which is a bummer. And While We're Here still is. So then I found out about A Case of You, and I wanted to see it. Came out in 2013. It wasn't on Netflix, and it wasn't for rent anywhere. And I was like, I need to see this movie. What are you trying to do this to me, internet? And then they were like, yay! And added it. So this had a huge, huge cast. So the main cast is Justin Long and Evan Rachel Wood, but also showing up for anywhere from one scene to a couple of scenes are Sienna Miller, Peter Dinklage, Busy Phillips, Sam Rockwell, Vince Vaughn, Priscilla Lopez, Peter Billingsley, and last but not least, Brendan Fraser, who literally swoops in and then swoops out. It's very bizarre. But so the main plot is that Justin Long's character is a writer. He writes novelizations of shitty movies. He's trying to work on his own novel, but he's like got writer's block and he's just writing terrible crap. And he has a crush on a barista at the coffee shop that he frequents, but he's too chicken to go talk to her. So then he finds out her name from her coworker, Peter Dinklage, and finds her on Facebook and starts to use her profile to try to be her perfect man, which would be creepy and is creepy, except that the finale sort of makes it slightly less creepy. I'm not going to tell you why, but they sort of flip it so that it's less gross than you'd think. Sam Rockwell gets to be really bizarre. But my favorite of all and then Peter Dinklage is like always good, and I think he likes to do these like little roles because he's just, he's a character actor at heart, and he gets to play all these great characters. But who was really great was Vince Vaughn, who was playing his agent, and in one of those like super high energy roles that's just the perfect, like, pitch perfect performance. And it reminds you that Vince Vaughn is a great actor and that you just wish he made better movies, like better choices in his lead stuff, because when he's a supporting guy, he's really great. But go back to your indie roots. Vince Vaughn, go back to your indie roots. Anyways, so then obviously shenanigans ensue as Justin Long attempts to woo Evan Rachel Wood, who would almost be a Manic Pixie Dream Girl, but she gets to be better than that. And really, if anything, he's more of like attempting to be a Manic Pixie Dream guy and finding out that that's terrible and you shouldn't do that. It was written by Justin Long, his brother Christian Long, and the other co-star Kiera O'Donnell. And you could kind of tell it was from a dude's point of view, but they were a lot more enlightened on sort of their introspective look at what society dictates men should be. So in terms of, being feminist, it's very much trying to be. The commentary doesn't always come through as strong as you'd want it to, but it's definitely like this sounds like damning with faint praise, but it's one of the least misogynistic films I've seen in a long time. And I think that's partly because of the director. I think she gets really great performances out of her actors too. I'm sure the next film she's scheduled to direct is also written by dudes, which is kind of a bummer because she started out as a writer-director, and I sort of wish she'd go back to that. There was also a couple really cute, in jokes that if you are familiar with her and her filmography, you get like one of the novels that his agent's trying to get him to write is the novelization of Sherpa, a romantic comedy named Sherpa. And at one point, a bus drives by with the bus ad for Sherpa, and it's starring Kristen Ritter and Reef Coiro, which is her husband. So that was kind of cute. I was like, I see what you did there. So that is A Case of You. I'm not really sure why it's called A Case of You, because that's a Joni Mitchell song. And they talk about Joan Baez. So you'd think that it would be like named after a Joan Baez song, but I don't know. Anyways, you can watch it on Netflix. This is 2013's A Case of You by Kat Coiro. I'm going to try not to be cold anymore.